using communication when repairing your relationship.
Hi, I'm Bec from Be Free Emotional Fitness Training, and I support women and girls to become emotionally stronger.
And I'm Vern from Move Forward Mentoring, and I specialise in male mentoring, helping boys and men find their passion, speak from their heart, and build better relationships.
And together we are rekindling relationships. We work with couples through mentoring sessions as well as facilitating communication and creative workshops to build deeper connections.
Welcome to our podcast, designed to help you strengthen and bring more fun into your partnership, as well as create a more loving, healthy, and strong connection. Hey everyone.
Hey everyone.
So we're back, and this time we're talking about when you need to communicate to repair your relationship. So this is probably a really important one, because this is when there's been some major conflict or something has happened which has disconnected you or pulled you apart.
What kind of things could happen in a relationship where you need to spend time repairing it?
There might have been infidelity. So one person might have had an affair and now they need to have a discussion. There could have been a major fight or major conflict about something where people have actually left the house, moved into another space and stepped away from each other.
Oh, you had some time apart.
And now it's working it out. It could be that people have just got a bit sick of each other and just said, I want some time away from you.
Boundaries might have been broken, might have stopped having fun together and be living quite separately.
Yeah, so this could even be if you have just realised that you're no longer connecting together and you're no longer actually connecting in the same space, then you might need to repair the relationship to move forward. How do we do that? What's the conversation there, Bec?
It's a tough one because it depends on the circumstances, doesn't it? But it's a serious one. And if you both have the intention of wanting to fix this, then it should come out fairly well in the end. But how do you sit down and have this conversation? I think be really, really honest. Because what have you got to lose at this point, I think? Complete honesty. Again, use I statements instead of accusing the person of whatever it is. So I feel like this.
That honesty is really important at this stage because you need to know exactly where your partner's at and where you're at to work from there.
And to get what you need in the relationship and what they need too. You need to be honest and open.
Let's take this situation or scenario, which is infidelity, where one person's had an affair. I think it's a big one that a couple might struggle to repair the relationship, to be able to step back into that. What needs to happen there, do you think?
That's going to take time. I think a big one for that is allowing a lot of time for your partner to heal. I think you both play a part in that disconnection. So owning your part played in that disconnection, but also talking about what you need from each other to reconnect. That will involve a lot of honesty, to be very transparent with each other, and particularly the person that has committed the affair. It might mean that you need to show the other person your phone or your emails for a time where they start to feel safe again.
Yeah, you might have to help them build trust in you by being as transparent as possible about what you're doing and explaining to them, so they don't have to have that maybe little voice in their head saying, oh, I don't feel right.
Yep, always checking in. Yep, like you said, say where you're going, messages, text messages. If you're running late, say why.
And I think maybe for that person who has been cheated on, the other person's had the affair, they've got to be able to say, hey, I'm not comfortable right now, or I need to hear this from you, or this is what's going on for me right now. And the other person needs to listen. They need to be able to be patient and realize that this is going to take time, and they're going to just have to
wear it
and allow it and be open and hold space for it, hold space for that other person's feelings. If you want to repair the relationship and you're the one who's created the damage, then you have to do everything possible to help your partner believe in you again and trust you again.
And feel safe.
Feel safe.
And maybe that's also a really good question to ask the other person. What do you need from me to feel safe? And they can spell that out for you.
That's a really good question. What do you need from me to feel safe? And that allows your partner to start building that trust, doesn't it? Because they know that you're listening to what they've got to say. They can feel heard in that.
Absolutely.
I mean, sometimes it's not as big as an affair. It's sometimes just repairing is when there's been a big blowout, and it might be something that's been building for a while. It could even just be a normal conflict, and both people just walk out of the house. The other one goes and bangs things in the kitchen. You've still got to repair that. You've still got to be able to step back into the space. You can't just ignore it. I think that's a really big one. You can't just hope that it goes away, because it won't. And we talked about this in our episode on dealing with it in conflict. These sort of things do not go away. And you're working now to repair what's happened. And to repair it takes that open honesty. I think it also takes some gentleness and vulnerability.
Vulnerability is a really good one, isn't it? So be vulnerable with each other.
What does being vulnerable mean to you?
So just be very raw with your emotions and how you feel.
Do you mean be really open in saying, I'm really hurt right now and I want to repair this. I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to create more drama and conflict. How do we repair this together?
Even if you feel that the other person is to blame for the most part, I think we can all take responsibility in some form. And so I think both parties need to apologise.
It is a good way to repair, isn't it? Is to start with an apology, to apologise for your part in what's going on. And so when we apologise, we have to be really sincere in our apology. I think that sort of flippant sorry about that doesn't work. It's got to be, hey, I'm really sorry that I said this, I did this. For that partner to go, thank you for your apology. Feel like your apology's been heard. I don't think we as a society are very good at apologising. I think we like to make it the other person's fault. And when people do apologise, I don't know if they do it really well. I feel like there's some people who just say sorry to everything and they apologise for every single thing. It doesn't mean anything anymore. And then there's people who don't apologise for anything.
Because they're a victim. It's taking the victim role though, isn't it?
Yeah, just making everyone else.
Yeah.
Do you mean by apologising all the time?
No, the other one where you're making it everybody else's problem. They've done bad by you, you know, so it's everyone else's fault.
Yeah, you got no reason to apologise. What could you do that was bad? I know how that feels, actually. Sometimes I feel like I'm apologising for things that I didn't do. I didn't drink all the wine.
I did do that.
That was you, actually.
That was me. I'm not really sorry about it.
I think that we have occasionally done this really well, where we have been able to have some sort of conflict and then we'll turn around and go, hey, look, I'm sorry. We're both sorry. Okay, what happened? Let's work this out. Let's move forward together. And then in that discussion and that apology, there's closeness again, isn't there?
There's a line you always say which makes me feel a bit softer in this situation.
Is that, here's some chocolate? Oh, no, different one.
It does work though pretty well.
Here's a couple of bottles of wine. I'll be in the shed.
You often say, I don't want to fight with you anymore. Like, I don't want to fight. I want to work this out. And you'll often say that line there, I don't want to fight, makes me go, oh, I don't know, for some reason, psychologically in my head, I'm like, oh, okay, let's just fix this and talk it through, you know. I'll instantly soften. I put my
boxing gloves on?
Yeah, I do. I put them down.
Take your boxing gloves off.
Yeah.
All right. Thank goodness for that. I reckon you could actually kick my ass in a boxing ring. Apologising is a really important part of repairing. And the other one, which you said before, which is about owning your part in whatever's going on. And in an apology, there's an ownership, isn't there? What you did. Even if you think it's all the other person's fault, if you believe that everything is the other person's fault, you might want to take a moment to just bring some awareness into the space, because it's very rarely is one person tangoing all by themselves.
Exactly.
It does take two to tango, and sometimes three. It could be there's your opinion, their opinion, and
The truth.
the truth, the objective opinion. So you might not be right. So you're better off to apologise and move on.
Yeah.
There's a real beauty in being able to repair properly, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. I often think that if you can come back from a scenario, I'm going to say the first one we talked about, an affair, if you can come back from that as a couple, I've seen examples of this where people have gone and come back from things like this, and it's made them stronger because they've then made more effort to fix areas of their relationship that was lacking. So it might be that that one needed more attention, or that one needed more time, or that they're more authentically honest with each other and transparent. But you find that they'll come out stronger and they'll make more effort in the relationship.
Maybe if we had actually put lots of effort in the relationship all the time, we wouldn't need to repair it.
Exactly. You wouldn't be in that situation.
Yeah. And maybe if you realize you're like, what is my priority at the moment? You know what your priority is by what you spend most of the time doing and thinking about.
Yeah.
And spending your money on and focusing on. If that is your work,
your hobbies,
that's fine if there's a balance with your partner. Because the reality of it is that you've got someone there with you. And if you haven't got someone there with you, maybe you want someone there. You've got to be able to put a good part of your energy, time into that other person. And be really aware that you both need that to actually grow together. You can't grow in isolation and do your own things and then hope that you don't need to repair whatever's happened. Oh, we'll just make do. Everything will be fine. I think that leads into those sort of relationships where people are just withdrawn from each other and not talking anymore. They drift away. Nothing's been repaired. So they keep on just doing it because they feel like they're in that relationship because they have to be.
There's kids.
There's no other choice.
I think in life we see a lot of people put their relationship last. It's not a high priority. Everything will come first, work, the kids, holidays, spending time with friends, hobbies, all these things will come sometimes way before our relationship. Yet our relationship is our foundation in life. And if that's going really well, we can weather any storm that comes our way. But if we haven't put the time and effort and it goes to shit, then our life is a mess. It doesn't matter if our work is good and our friends are good. We're not coping.
And when we've had a disconnect and we need to repair and need to step back in, it's a really hard place to be in, isn't it? But in that repairing, in that coming together and creating a time and saying, let's have this discussion. I want this to happen. Do you want this to happen? Okay, we both want this to happen. Then let's prioritize this. Let's prioritize repairing this relationship and bringing us closer together. Because without it, what's the point?
Yeah.
And what is the actual point of spending time in the same space if we're not happy?
And if you're not prioritizing your relationship, then it's time to prioritize it, because it's just a little volcano waiting to erupt, isn't it? Into a mess.
Or it's just a seething little earthquake which will just rumble slightly and, all the glasses fall off and you pick them up and, throw them in the bin, but you just act like nothing's happening. There's actually there's things going on in your relationship. And if you're not fighting at all in your relationship ever, is that because you're ignoring things?
Yep.
Because
I've been in that situation.
I'd be very surprised if nobody actually ever has conflict at all.
I have been in a relationship like that, but it means that you're probably not dealing with things. You're avoiding dealing with things.
And sometimes we might avoid repairing because repairing will mean that we have to be vulnerable in that space and we have to be really honest. And we don't want to do that because we think in that honesty, something's going to happen. It's going to be too painful, emotionally painful for us or for them. But when you're at a point where you're repairing, both people need to be really clear about what they want and how they're going to fix this moving forward.
Get what you want from the relationship and give what they need.
Please check out our online course for couples and parents. There's a survey in the link in the comments.
Check out our YouTube and Facebook.
Rekindling Relationships. And please join us for our next episode, which is on dealing with trauma and how we can communicate that as couples. All right, see ya.
Thanks for listening. Please subscribe and follow us.
And check out our website at rekindlingrelationships.com.
Bye for now.
See ya.